I'm not seeing anything as usual. So how's it going, everybody? Can anybody see me? Probably not. Okay, I'm opening up all the connections that I need. And turning the audio off. I can see myself. Okay, and I see the chat, and I see myself. All right, so I just watched. Hey, Melinda, how you doing, sweetie? I just finished the episode. You know, I have a little bit of a delay when it comes to streaming these, watching these things. So, what did you think about it? But wait, first of all, did you see it? Hey, love is who I am. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Wink, wink. It's probably super slowed down because the internet is super slow. So I'm gonna try to move as less as possible because you can hear me well, probably. But if I move, then it's gonna result like super strange. So I'm gonna try to freeze as much as I can. I'm wearing my Double R Diner damn good cup of coffee. Now slowly gonna put it down. Everything is gonna be in slow motion. So okay, so first of all, let me say I'm glad that there was a lot of Twin Peaks in Twin Peaks. Oh, I have to move the screen. I don't see anything. Okay. Nick, hello. Hey, hi, Nick. Can you hear me? Hi, Nick. How's it going? Melinda says, I had to have wine. It was amazing. Perfect shirt for episode, right? And I didn't even know. I just wore it to watch it. And then all of a sudden, you know, we got the cherry pie. We got the Double R Diner. We got all the action in the Double R Diner. So much happened. I have an issue that they did not confront, you know, Diane. Like Gordon is like not confronting her, and she saw that. Okay, just to let you guys know, so I didn't do the live watch along because last time I missed too much of the episode because I was looking at the chat. But I filmed myself doing the live thing. You know what I mean? So I filmed myself watching it. So I'm going to kind of edit that together, and then I'm going to put that online. That's going to be online in a couple of hours for whoever wants to watch, again, the episode together with me. And then the quality will be better than this crappy fish tank aquarium bowl quality that I have right now because I have an old computer and I have really slow internet. But that's besides the point. What I wanted to say is the quality will be better because I filmed myself regularly watching the episode, and I say a lot of stuff this time in the episode, so that's going to be interesting. So I have the feeling like I spoke to you guys while watching the episode, so now I don't know, like I'm just going to be repeating myself, I guess, because I think you know what I said, but you don't know what I said, obviously. So I was talking about, in particular, the we could call him the woodsman guy in South Dakota, wherever they were, where Gordon Cole saw the warp, the black hole, whatever you want to call it. And so Diane, so I called this guy the Danny DeVito, the penguin. I called him the Danny DeVito penguin, you know, who was like stepping into the car to kill Hastings. And Diane saw him, and she didn't do anything to stop it, you know. Melinda's like, I kept saying, oh my God, through the episode. I was just, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it was just like, somebody stopped Diane. And she saw the penguin. I'm going to just call him the penguin. She saw the penguin enter the freaking police car and kill Hastings. And she did nothing. She did not even really blink an eye until it all went down. And that's super creepy. And I'm starting to lose faith in her. Anyway, it was painful. Nick says, I see nothing. I am lost. I don't know. Can you see now? Are we back? Melinda says everyone was so calm while the penguin, yeah, killed everybody. I don't get it, but you know what I noticed, like the similarity, for example, the way Hastings' head was cut and ravaged was, you know, just like Madeline Zima and her lover were in like episode 1 or 2 when they got killed by the mother or by the experiment. It was kind of a similar type of death, like like a head being literally obliterated. So I thought that was a similarity, and then fascinating that Lynch doesn't call them the woodsmen, like that Gordon Cole didn't call them the woodsmen when he was describing these dirty guys on the staircase in the house that he saw while he was in this vortex, standing within the coordinates. But you know, in general, I felt like both Albert, Diane just chilling, sitting on the car, leaning on the car, you know, and all of them, while Lynch was kind of, while Gordon Cole was almost like disappearing, you know, in this vortex, Albert just pulled him out in the last second before he disappeared. Nobody seemed surprised by all of these supernatural phenomena, which, of course, we know we're led to believe that they all have to deal with stuff like this anyway, but it felt like a little bit too emotionless for what was really going down. And if indeed these coordinates are some major clue in the books of the Gordon Cole Blue Rose cases, then they should have been more excited too to get kind of closer to this type of phenomena. And yet it felt really quite detached, I would say. You know, like they delivered a relatively motionless performance. And even you know, Cole's reaction to, I don't know, to the death of Hastings, everything felt so cold. Yeah, Melinda says, remember Lynch, he's dead, LOL. I know. And when you watch my video, as I was filming my reaction to it, I reacted in a very similar way right before Lynch did. I was like, and he gone. And I'm just like, he's dead. I mean, oh my God, guys, I lost it. Wait, Melinda says, I think there may be something between Diane and Albert. So they're in on it? You think? Both of them, like, interesting. But then why would Albert deliver to Cole the information about the text messaging between Diane and eventually Evil Coop, or to Mexico? I don't know. But you know what got me really laughing, and I shouldn't have, I know it was a tragic situation. So when the kid that was dressed up just like his own father in front of the Double R Diner allegedly shot the gun from the van or the car, and then Bobby runs out. Oh my God, Bobby is Becky's father. Now we have the confirmation. That was another one of those oh my God moments. But so when Bobby kind of tries to ask that woman to stop honking her car, and she's so hysterical, I just got so aggressive. She really annoyed the shit out of me. And then out of the blue, this zombie green liquid spewing kid that looks like 11 from Stranger Things pops up from like sitting next to her and goes like, I lost it. I started laughing and I couldn't stop. And while I was laughing, I was saying like, I shouldn't be laughing. I shouldn't be laughing. This is serious. This is bad. This is really bad. But it was such a comedic moment, like comic relief. I don't know. It just felt, Jesus. Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to see that video for my real, like, authentic in that moment reaction. Oh, Melinda, you were cracking up too? I can't. Okay, whatever. But that was hilarious. The Las Vegas stuff is starting to get on my nerves, I have to say. I'm really getting annoyed by it. And okay, so they found a way to, you know, save Dougie. Like, I mean, they find it, you know. The stars have aligned for Dougie, right? For Cooper, actually. So he doesn't get killed. The cherry. The dream Belushi had. Now, is that the Black Lodge or the White Lodge, the Purple Room? This is the Purple Room. Manipulating the dreams of Belushi in order to try to kind of dissuade him from killing Cooper, because, and then like to create a little miracle, like the scar Candy provoked on the face was gone all of a sudden under the thing. Let's go get. Melissa says that was the funniest scene ever. No, it's not. It's not. There's more people. I see the numbers. There's more people watching. Yeah. So the other thing is, okay. If you really think of it, the Las Vegas scenes, didn't bring us toward here really. Myself. So, everything. He had cherry pie, he had coffee, he had sex, he had alcohol, and other music is going on. I thought that's some from the late 80s, like broken heart, broken day, and perform my hand. But anyway, the way has been found for Lucy not to go, and Lucy got her, and then they go back and still spaced out. I know what's going on her, but all that space out is really, it's becoming really, really nerve-wracking watch. It's just annoying. But these things that more very fascinating and great, great, a log day. What is in I don't question that. That's why. The Black Fire, Black Horn, and Black Fire. Those are both amazing things. Actually, maybe I don't know. Things. Talking and let's start again. What I say is the funny thing. Creature, that's the old creature. You know, you don't want to snippet from the actual trailer revealed finally, where we see actually say something of the lodges and all the creatures being inside of it. So Hawk telling us, you don't want to know what that the tiny wings. That's kind of scary, and who knows what answers we're gonna get. What that or whatever you want to call that. Thermobosius doing creature. But I found the map in particular to be quite all old. It wasn't really old. So I don't know. And but the concept was interesting. And I was also a little bit of Hawk not telling the love lady really what's going on. You know, I can't. He should be a her rather than telling her, no, I can't tell you this. And he just did that in order to forward the plot line, you know, too quick. You know. So, are you back? Cooper, Miss Cooper. Miss Cooper is stuck on. So, yes, that's what I'm. I don't know, I'm thinking. I wonder, you know, when he's police station as a and happening, see kind of all these calls coming in. I wonder if we're gonna get so lucky that Chad gets sent to the scene, you know, of the or Miriam or what's her name, that that you know that was supposed to be killed last episode with mass explosion, but didn't die. And I knew she was not going to die. But I wonder now if, you know, if Chad finds her, she's sent over to pick up. Then we got a big problem. Oh, invisible girl. 422. Hi, Debbie. How you doing, Deb, sweetie? Welcome to the purple. Dacob, you sound like you're in the lodge. I am in the lodge. Internet sucks here. I'm so sorry, guys. Melinda and Debbie are talking. It's so cute. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Melinda. I lost video and sound. It's too choppy. I'm Miss Cooper, LOL. Yes, you are. Yeah, there you are. No, okay, so I'm back again. Am I back again? Have the lodge ancient creatures allowed me to come back again? Hey, Super D. Hey, Debbie. How you doing, sweetie? Okay, good. So you can see me again. So I don't know. I was blabbering about. So I don't know what you missed out on and what not. What did I say? So I said that I found it stupid that Hawk could not tell Margaret what's going down, their research, because if anybody can help them, it's her. You know what I mean? And then he's like, oh, Margaret, this I can't tell you. I'm like, dude, she's like, she brought you up to speed with everything that's going down here, and now you're withdrawing information from the log lady? Are you freaking kidding me? It's just been done on purpose to slow down the development of the plot, you know, so that we get to, that we don't get too much information all at once, I guess. And on another note, another thing I was saying, that map that Hawk shows Truman is like very, you know, drawn. It looks like it was made that day. It doesn't look like an old thing, like an old map. So that looked a little bit, you know what I mean, like a cheap prop. But whatever, we forget. I mean, even Owl Cave back in the day, you know, all of the hieroglyphs or whatever, not hieroglyphs, but the, how do you call those things? On the Owl Cave, that really looked like the cheapest prop department, you know, made them. And so this map looks cheap too. But anyway, so another thing I was saying is, oh, it says your network connection is experiencing difficulties. Damn it. Yeah, check your connectivity. Yeah, my connectivity is bad. We know that. A really bad. It's a crappy connection. Right. So what was I saying? The map. Yeah, the map was bad. But what I wanted to say is I found interesting this little chubby owl creature, this round black circle with the tiny wings that Mr. C has on a card. And then, you know, we see it several times, and then we have it on a little tiny piece of paper from Major Briggs's message to the three guys that arrived to his home. And now we have it on the map. And then Truman asks Hawk, what is this little chubby creature with tiny wings? And Hawk was like, you don't, girl, you don't want to know. And of course, I go like, yes, I want to know. And of course, they didn't want to tell us this because, and that's another thing I said before, they added another layer of mystery and problems and complications and, another layer to this whole lodge situation. And now we know that there's more to it than we figured before. Or this round owl thingy with wings could be, maybe that's the experiment or the mother or whatever, you know? Yeah, you don't want to know. Yeah, right, Melinda. And the thing is, that's another one of those points that annoyed me. And then I don't know if you were here when I was talking about the Las Vegas thing, that it's just getting too annoying for me. Like, let's get it over with the Las Vegas stuff. Candy is spaced out. She's either on some weird mushrooms or she's ready to kick the bucket any minute. I was also mentioning Cooper and the cherry pie, and he ate the cherry pie. He ate other sweets. He drank alcohol. He had coffee. He had sex. He had everything he could have had to get back to Cooper, but he didn't. He's still Dougie, even after listening to the sad song, the sad music. But whatever. And also, what was really weird was just that, like, nanosecond, that nanosecond of while Cooper, aka Dougie, is exiting the insurance company building, he sees Mike in the red room, the one-armed man, and he walks towards him. But then we don't see what goes down there. There's just a cut, and then he exits the building. So I wonder what happened there, and why such a tiny snippet? Like that seemed, I don't know. Oh, Diane sitting in the police station, and she, like, Diane was the only one seated on a bar stool. Like the other ones were seated normally. That was hilarious. But I still don't get why Gordon Cole just doesn't confront her and say, hey, what gives, girl? Like, and then it was so obvious, Albert showing the photo of Ruth Davenport's written on her arm or tattooed on her arm coordinates. And then Diane is like moving her lips to try to memorize the number or to try to figure out if the coordinates are the ones that she had or that she's supposed to send off to Coop, Mr. C. And so it's so obviously like moving her lips that Albert then notices, but he also doesn't call her out on it. He just like looks at her. And I think to myself, why do they let all these things just pass, Oh yes, Diane's, yeah, Melinda says, I love Diane's leopard jacket. Yeah, that was fabulous. Even her bag was amazing. Her sunglasses were amazing. I mean, the styling was incredible, Invisible Girl 422 says, yes, it was last week. Vegas does not belong. Yeah. Melinda says, Red Room saved him. Yes, I think so too, because the Red Room made Belushi have the dream. It was like Belushi dreamt of the scar disappearing, the candy-induced scar. He dreamt of the cherry pie in the box. It was like all manipulated so that they would not kill Coop. But at this point, all the cards have been set on the table. I don't think where more could they push this storyline. And now I understand where they're pushing it. When Cooper becomes Cooper again, Belushi is going to be his friend. Like, Belushi is going to help him to fight against evil Cooper, maybe, or he's going to help him to fight against other criminals. I don't know. I have the feeling like now he won a friend for life, and Belushi's role is going to become of a sort of a helper pal of Cooper. I don't know. That's just it's an option. You know what I mean? It's definitely an option there. That they become kind of besties once Cooper, I don't know, goes back to Twin Peaks once he recovers. But what else happened that was fascinating? Of course, we already said it, but figuring out, that Bobby is indeed Becky's father, that also, first it made me go, oh my God, but then it made me it didn't feel right in a way, because all the atrocities that Becky has experienced, her husband being the douchebag number one, and Bobby remembering what a douchebag Leo used to be to Shelley, Bobby's reaction wasn't that aggressive towards the idea of getting Becky away from her husband. It just, okay, we had the reveal. Okay, Bobby is Becky's father. But then it all fell apart because he seemed quite passive in front of his daughter's wrong decision-making skills. I mean, she married the guy, but then she lied about him not getting physical with her. I mean, he was physical with her. I mean, we didn't see him like bash the shit out of Becky in the last episode, but we can imagine that that's what happens. So she's, I don't know, seems like she's lying about it, that she's not being hurt by her husband. Melinda says everyone is too calm. Yeah, everything felt, even Carl, you know, when he's driving Shelley back to the Double R Diner or to the police station or wherever, back to Twin Peaks, it felt like, and she was like, can you drive faster? He's like, nope. I mean, he wasn't driving, but the whole situation was very calm. I mean, Shelley on the car and Becky running away from her, driving away, and Shelley kind of flying off the car, and the camera filming from inside of the car Shelley's face, like frontal. That felt very slapstick, very, very slapstick, and very funny in a way. I mean, shocking, but it wasn't directed or filmed in a shocking way. It was more comedic, even though the situation was dramatic. So that felt out of place too, in a way. I don't know, everything felt so strange. Melinda says, yeah, because she loves him. Yeah, I know she loves him. Eileen the Queen, hi Dacob and friends. I only have 15 minutes to interact. How you doing, sweetie? Welcome to the room. Debbie says, I don't like so many women being victims this season. Yeah, really, they all are. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. Except, I mean, for now, unless Diane is not a victim to Evil Coop's manipulations, Diane seems to be in charge of the situation. As does Tammy. Tammy gave us some burlesque Dita Fonte's realness moves today yet again. Tammy gave one of her, gave a couple of her poses, of her famous, very Dita Fonte's reminiscent poses, moves, and hand positions. She positions her hand always in kind of like a very precise position. Something that a director like Robert Wilson does a lot. He works a lot with hand positions, and then kind of it's a very Baroque thing to do, like to just, create these weird, and that's what Tammy does all the time. Notice it. She doesn't lift her arms up. She has her arms usually down to her hip or something, and then there's like this, usually this position. She usually does that wavy position there, which, if you notice, is actually what Candy is doing, except Candy's moving her arms always. Now, the internet connection is super slow, so you won't even see me moving my arm or my hand like Candy. But yeah, like a mannequin. Yeah, Melinda says like a mannequin. Debbie says like a stewardess. Yeah, Tammy, the stewardess. Would you like some cheese with that? Good old Tammy. But you gotta love her. I don't know. I don't know. She's just super sweet. I really turned around like 180 degrees with her. From the beginning, I didn't like her, and now I totally am in love with Tammy. Melinda says they're like puppets. Yeah, they are like puppets. It felt it felt weird, you know. Eileen says my connection is not working. I'm sure it's my end. No, well, no, it's my end too, Eileen. Like, uh, super bad internet here. So sorry about that. So I'm trying to move not so much because at least you can hear me talking. Slowed down perhaps, but it's still me. Um, what else happened in this episode that I thought was fascinating? It's a bit tricky because right before the episode I watched the Comic-Con, uh, all the interviews that Twin Peaks cast gave. So I'm kind of mixing up stuff because Kimmy Robertson, you know, was talking in the interview, and I constantly, because you know Kimmy always has the same Lucy voice, so now I have the feeling I saw Lucy talk in today's episode more than I actually did. But what we did have Lucy say off screen, and it was really cute. It was a kind of an homage to the Lucy from the '90s Twin Peaks. She was describing to Hawk exactly which line Margaret would be on the telephone, which is something that Lucy was kind of very obsessively into detail describing to Truman back in the '90s about which line the phone call would go through. So that felt really nice to see Lucy still after 25 years trying to explain every time there's a phone call going through, you know, which line the phone call is going through, and it's the blinking line. So Melinda says the kid looked evil. Bobby looking at him. Oh yes, and it was the kid. Oh yeah, I commented that in my watch along. I was like, that kid is giving us some. I was like, that's the evil seed in the making. That kid is going to be like the future of Twin Peaks homicidal maniacs, and he's dressed up and just like his dad and this camouflage hillbilly look. Melinda says, I almost watched the Comic-Con thing. Yeah, you should watch it. It's fun. And there's like a couple of different interviews with the cast. Some of them are shorter, just like 10 minutes, and some of them are a bit longer, like the panel discussion was a bit longer. So, but Kimmy Robertson talks in both cases, and she's super cute and charming. Debbie says, she's still in the 90s. Ah, Debbie, that's exactly the thing. Okay, so at the Comic-Con, Kimmy Robertson, I don't know what the question was. Somebody asked like a question like, so what do you think about, I can't remember the question. Something, I don't know, important to the actors about coming back to Twin Peaks or something like that. And Kimmy Robertson, aka Lucy, said the sweaters, you know, her fashion, like the stuff that she wore in the 90s that she still wears now in Twin Peaks. And in fact, if we look at Lucy's styling, except for the absence of plaid, and there should be more plaid. I'm missing the plaid. Truman is the only one who usually always has some plaid going on. I miss the plaid in this new Twin Peaks a lot. And Lucy was supposed to be, for me, the plaid carrier, but she doesn't really wear much plaid. But her sweaters are still very Lucy from the 90s, definitely. Melinda says, oh, Log Lady Margaret always states the title lately, too. Yeah, she did. Today and last week, she was the title carrier. Actually, whenever Margaret, or the Log Lady, appears in an episode, I think until now, every time she appeared in an episode, one of her sentences, one of her pieces of dialogue were the title of the episode in the end. So the same thing happened now. Debbie says she had a plaid skirt. Lucy had a plaid skirt on today? Lucy? I can't remember. Did she have a plaid skirt on today? Oh, if she did, congratulations. Finally, the plaid. But again, I'm confused because right before the episode, I watched the panel discussion. And so I have Kimmy Robertson's voice in my mind, and then I have Lucy's voice in my mind, and they're mixing up. Yeah, Debbie says when the chair was being bought. Yes, but That was in last week's episode. Did she have the plaid skirt in this week's episode as well? Wait a minute, the chair was mentioned in this episode too, right? I'm watching too many like Twin Peaks videos and stuff, so I don't even know anymore what's a Twin Peaks episode and what's an interview. But guys, you're gonna watch when I upload the watch along. This is like I could not stop laughing when the zombie kid appeared next to that lady in the car, the honking lady. That zombie kid that looked like 11 from Stranger Things. I died. I could not stop laughing. I just could not stop laughing. It was a tragic moment, but comedically speaking, it was incredible comedy. Like incredible comedy. And I I can't, every time I think about it, I start laughing. So Becky's husband, who is he having an affair with? Do we know? I didn't figure that one out. Debbie says, I get confused too, but it's great. Yeah, I think it's totally great. The more I'm confused and the more I love it. I want to lose myself. You know what I mean? And you're going to have like a lot of these Twin Peaks analysts, call them analysts. They're going to, you know, dissect everything and want to understand everything and see the logic behind everything. But honestly, to me, yeah, of course, I'm super excited to find out that Bobby is Becky's father. But it's not like I need to know a lot of different things into detail in order to appreciate the series. I like to get lost in the labyrinth. I really do. I really like to get lost in, you know. South Dakota Buckhorn, I don't know where the hell they were, where the coordinates were with Hastings. You know, when Gordon Cole, you know, when the vortex appears and like this huge thing is happening that is otherworldly and so supernatural, and all of the characters seem to be super chill about it. And, you know, my brain just goes, whoa, what just happened? Are we going to get more answers? And then we don't get any answers, really. But nevertheless, even though I'm not any wiser after seeing that scene, I still feel amazingly good that I went on that journey. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand the shit that went down there. Well, I mean, I have a clue, but it doesn't even matter. The great thing is that it happened, and it's great that kind of I felt like I was on a roller coaster ride together with Gordon Cole in that moment, and that alone was worth the ride. And not knowing what that was all about actually is totally fine for me personally. I don't know. So Melinda says, I don't know who is the affair. Shelley sure was giddy and Bobby seemed jealous. Oh my God. So Shelley went back to her old ways. Like the second Red appeared, Shelley was like, okay, Becky, I'm so sorry that you're suffering and that your heart is broken, but Mama don't care. Mama got to go and tongue kiss Red. And then Bobby, yeah, he was jealous, but also like, Shelley will never learn. She's always attracted to all of these criminals. Melinda says, yeah, I love the journey. I'm addicted. I love it too. And it's definitely, and what I love the most, I'll tell you something. What I love the most is those scenes, just like the warp scene with the black hole or whatever it was that Cole experienced. Like the scenes where something like this happens, where you really lose yourself, are the ones I love a lot because they make me very, I don't know, they make me forget my reality for a second or two, and that makes me feel really good. Debbie says, I think we are going to end up with even more questions at the season's end. I totally agree with you. It's just going to be, I think it's going to be great, but it's only going to be great if you can accept the fact that the greatness of Twin Peaks is living the mystery. It's not solving the mystery. the greatness of Twin Peaks is always living inside the mystery, thriving inside of the mystery, growing inside of the mystery, you know? And as we grow, the mystery grows. It's like we grow together. And I think that's the charm, that's the magic of Twin Peaks, and the mysteries should not be solved. They shouldn't really. Melinda says, yeah, Debbie, I agree. And yes, me too, unexplained scenes. But you know, the only thing that maybe annoys me a little bit is that all of them inside of Twin Peaks, all the characters, they just seem like they can't be bothered really, no matter how horrible a crime can, you know, no matter what happens, no matter how bad it is, they kind of seem to be chill about it unless they are not directly involved in it, being them the victims, in which case they usually get killed. But as both Melinda and Debbie stated, you know, there's too many crimes being perpetrated against women in this season, and it kind of seems like women are the most hysterical ones. And in fact, I mean, we see Bobby cry, but he's not losing it. But if we see anybody lose it, it's always women that become really hysterical. I mean, Hastings loses it, but I mean, he's going through some psychodrama. Like, he had visions, he was traveling through space. I mean, it was crazy for him. So, but like that woman in the car, you know, in today's episode that was honking, she had a nervous breakdown. She was hysterical. And then Bobby, the man, kept his cool. And kind of that balance is not really there. I don't know. I think women are very nervous in this season, for sure, to say the least. Melinda says, it's like your video, not having to know answers. Like this video, you mean? Or which video? Inside Sycamore? The series? That way it lives on. Oh, yes. Twin Peaks lives on because of the mysteries. Of course, also the amazing casting, the amazing directing, the amazing writing, all of it. But it lives on, and it tickles our fantasies because we keep digging deeper and we just keep asking more and more questions, and that's the magic of it. Debbie says, yep, and drawing or not your own conclusions. Oh yeah, totally. Because it's funny, you know, when I post Twin Peaks video, and then all the comments that gather up in the days that follow the actual publication of the video, it's just so fascinating because as a new episode airs and all of these theories start arising, and all the people start, you know, thinking their own ideas, and it's so beautiful to me to read each and every idea of every person, because every person comes to a slightly different conclusion, and they're all plausible, you know what I mean? And it's just so amazing, and it's beautiful how David and Mark managed to trigger thought and managed to trigger that creative part of our brains. And that's a great type of stimulation. People should be stimulated that way all the time. Eileen says, well, I'll be watching this later to catch up and comment too. Good night. Oh, good night, Eileen, sweetie. Have a great night's sleep. And sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Melinda says, yes, the women, except Diane, very emotional. No, your symbolism video. Sorry, emotional. The women today. Melinda, are you one of the characters from Twin Peaks today? You're all over the place. Yes, the women, except Diane. Very emotions. No, your symbolism video. Sorry, emotional. The women today. That was abstract. The abstractions of 2017. Episode 12. In the purple room. I think we're getting closer to the moment where, you know, a lot of people have speculated this, that Coop has to pass by the purple world before he kind of can collect his shoes, his soul, or that part of him, that spirit, his own spirit that makes him Cooper, that makes him kind of awake again. And if that were to happen, it's gonna happen soon. if that is needed in order for him to return to himself again. Because let's face it, guys, like Las Vegas is done. It's a done story. We know that there's Janie and then there's Sonny Jim or whatever his name is, the kid. But like, what are we gonna do? You know, he either takes them with him, or he gets a divorce. Well, technically, he never married her, so because another person married, a non-existent person married her. So I don't know. Or he really loves her and they move to Twin Peaks together. Like, there's so many options, but none of them seem, I don't know. I'm just done with Las Vegas. Oh, one thing I loved so much. Yeah, Dougie is so cute. Yeah, that's right. He's adorable. But one thing I loved so much, that was so heartwarming to me to see the old lady that was like so poor and run down and looked super shabby and dirty in the Silver Mustang casino in the first 4 episodes. What was it? She was in the 3rd, I guess, or 4th episode at the slot machines. And now she's like all beautiful and taken care for and has nice hair and makeup and is dressed nicely. And it's just beautiful to see an elderly lady like that, like so beautiful, you know. And she was so caring and loving, and she was caressing Cooper's face and saying thank you. And she brought her son. I mean, well, by accident they met again, but her son was there as well. And that was just as the saddest song was playing. So that was such a beautiful moment for me to see her, because I felt really, she touched me a lot. Like, she touched me. It was very emotional to see her in episode 3 or 4 in the state she was in, and how happy she was that she finally, that lady's like 80 years old and never had money in her life probably, and finally she got some money, you know, how happy she was. And now she kind of gets to live her life. And I was happy that Lynch closed that chapter for us, that we got to see her happy, that we got to see her transformed into, you know, the best part of herself. Yeah, that scene was so affectionate, and it was just so beautiful. I don't know, it touched me a lot. I mean, I didn't cry, I didn't lose it this time. But Melinda, what's going on, girl? Okay, so I like this scene. So affecti. And there's like affectionate. God, I can't type. It's the wine. Yes, the scene was very affecti. Very. I have some wine in the fridge too. I can only drink white wine though, because red I do drink, but then I get allergy. Zariella, no need to apologize. That's hilarious. Are you kidding me? Affecti. It's a new word. You better be able to show affecti if you want to talk to us. So that sort of, I don't want to say redemption. It's not like she needed to be redeemed. You know what I mean? She was just like super nice. Like it was, actually, if anything, it was Lynch's redemption, because he showed us this lady and just left the story there. He redeemed himself by kind of bringing her back and telling us, hey, it's all good with her. And he gave that actress also, you know, another role to play, and that's just beautiful. I'm very grateful for that. And she was not a victim anymore. So there we have an example of a woman that is not a victim. You know, she, okay, fine, a man saved her. So yeah, Dougie showed her the way to money. So I guess, I don't know, but still, she's happy now and she's in charge of her life, and that's the good thing. You know what I mean? Girls, you're all guzzling there, are ya? Debbie's like drinking Pinot Grigio. Debbie's drinking Pinot Giorgio. So it's Pino Giorgio and then stop Grigio. Girl. Sorry, Lo. Is that Italian? What is Italian? Go get it. Let's get drunk. Oh my God. Listen. I would, but I have something very important I have to do after this. I can't be drunk. Yeah. Oh no, but they drank, so I think they were drinking champagne or something bubbly to that effect, I would say. That's what it looked like. But then I think to myself, I don't really like to do bubbly, the bully, as the ab fab ladies would say, and then eat cherry pie at the same time. Those two things just don't go together. And I tried sweets with champagne and stuff like that. Don't work for me. I don't know, not really. Coffee and cake, yes, anytime. You know, anytime. But, you know, alcohol, meh. So what else happened? Not much, really. Oh, what I want to know is, what more was there to Belushi's dream? How much more went down there, really? And because he didn't want to say, he said he forgot some parts of the dream, but some parts he didn't want to say. And then I really want to know what that little chubby owl creature looking black circular drawing with the tiny wings is that Hawk doesn't want to tell us. That Mr. C has on his playing card, scratched up. That Major Briggs drew on the little tiny message to Bobby and Co. I don't know. I just don't know. But I want to know. Yeah, the dream is mysterious. And also, like, no mention of Laura again. I don't know. And the coordinates, I mean, now that Hawk has that, like, really badly, poorly produced prop map, are we to expect that next week they're going to try to go, I don't know, get that black corn or create a passage, or is the map foreseeing the future in terms of some greater evil is going to come to Twin Peaks, like that mother or experiment, whatever creature, is going to exit the lodges or is going to come to Earth? Is something like that going to happen? Like when the black corn mixes up with fire and other elements, who knows, and then like it all turns into this black fire, and then this like, I don't know. And also, the fact that Gordon Cole doesn't call all of those dirty kind of woodsmen, but calls them in a different way is also kind of fascinating to me. Melinda is like, watch, the map will be sold in stores or online. Yeah, probably. I mean, you never know, because they never really made the map of Owl Cave either. But I guess they're more on top of their game now in terms of merch to sell, like stuff like this. This is also official merchandise. Double R Diner. You see it? Damn good coffee and cherry pie. Pink Hornet, how you doing, sweetie? Welcome. Just finished the episode here in Australia. Oh, down under. How's it going down under? A much more linear episode. I enjoyed it. Yes, it was linear. And we got a lot of Twin Peaks. We also got a lot of Las Vegas as well, which was annoying. But yeah, but Dougie was cute. Hi, y'all. The smileys come out as little tiny blobs on my chat. They're so cute. They're like little tiny blobs of sunlight. Oh yeah, we gotta go to the Double R Diner. When I'm in your area, I'm definitely gonna let you know. I have to go. But like, do they really make that cherry pie at that diner? Did you? I know you had it already. But I didn't know if you got it really there, or if it's kind of a thing that happens, you know, from time to time, or is it like a standard? The Double R Diner always. Oh yes. Oh good. Wow. So you could get cherry pie all year round, huh? So it's frozen cherries then. I wonder. You could make it out of fresh cherries too, right? But it's a lot of work because you gotta like take the seeds or the bones or the stones, or how do you call those things, out of every cherry, right? Pink says, Double R Diner reminds me, I picked up the red shoes are because the waitresses in the Double R wear them. Hence, Dougie Cooper remembers them, kinda. Yeah, probably. And also, isn't it funny how Shelly's red shoe flew off when she jumped onto the car, onto her own car that Becky was stealing in that moment? Fresh, yeah, but then you can. But if okay, Melinda, but if the cherries are fresh, then they can't do cherry pie all year round because cherries don't grow all year round. So how do they do that in winter? Yeah, I can imagine it's good. Ah, stop. Now I want cherry pie. Damn it. Just for those of you who don't know, Melinda Cooper can have the original Double R cherry pie anytime she wants. And that is amazing. We're all super jealous. No cherry pie here. Only thing I have is this poison bottle that looks like an apple. It's as close as it gets to a cherry. The color does. The smell doesn't. The smell is almonds and Play-Doh, as they say. A little bit of Play-Doh in there as well, and vanilla. But you could use some vanilla for the cherry pie, though. So yeah, that's all that happened. What else happened that was super important? I don't know. I just like watched the episode now, so it's hard to like process it immediately. You have to kind of watch it a couple of times, at least twice. But as Pink said, and I agree, it was a linear episode. There's not like major twists and turns. I mean, the only kind of not in the central part of the episode was the Gordon Cole coordinates and that kind of warp of a black hole or twirl or whatever going on, and these kind of the Danny DeVito penguin figure appearing and disappearing and then killing Hastings. That was kind of fascinating, and even more fascinating that Diane just didn't give a F about it. But you know what was really funny, and I remember, so when we see, you know, stuff is like the camera is filming from the perspective of Gordon Cole, and sometimes it's filming from outside of his view. So sometimes we're filming him, and sometimes it's like he's looking at the world. But there's like one moment when he starts lifting his arms and waving them. He was so cute. Gordon Cole, adorable in that moment. And then the camera all of a sudden is filming the entire scene from a distance. So we see the car parked. We see Diana on the car. We see Albert very, very close to Cole. You know, we see the other car with Hastings in it, and Tammy. But you know, you see it like from the outside, without seeing the twirl, without seeing the world, the black hole, without seeing anything. Everybody's still looking at Gordon Cole, and Gordon Cole is like waving his arms up in the air. That was so adorable. That was such an adorable scene. Debbie says to Melinda, "Oh, you're in Washington." And Melinda says, "Yes, in Seattle. I want everyone to visit." Yeah, that would be amazing. We should all do a get-together. Debbie says, "Cool, Alaska here. We are neighbors." Yay, neighbors. I want to see Alaska. Gordon was so cute. Yeah, he was like a kid with his little arms like waving up in the air. And I also mentioned in the watch-along, I was like, oh, look how cute Gordon is when he's walking towards the coordinate spot. His pants, like he like his waist is like right here. It's like here. The pants go up to there almost. That was so cute, really adorable. Pink Hornet says, "I was happy that Bobby was Becky's dad, but sadly Shelley's taste in men is still questionable, as evidenced by her relationship with Red." Becky takes after her mom. Totally. Tell me about it. Although, to be perfectly honest with you, I think Becky is still doing better than Shelley did when she was her age. And I think Shelley, by being so in love with Red, is really playing with fire there, because this guy is super dangerous. Like, Leo Johnson was just crazy and was a small level criminal, but Red seems to be a high-end criminal, much more ruthless than Leo. Leo was a little bit dumb. Red doesn't seem to be dumb in the slightest. So I'm very much worried for Shelley. I did again notice in this episode that Shelley had her perfectly coiffed hair. They probably shot the scenes from today's episode back together with the scenes from the other episode, a couple of episodes back, when was it, episode 5 maybe? When I mentioned that Shelley's hair is just too perfect. It's too red carpet. It's too Hollywood for a waitress. Also, Norma's hair is too coiffed. And then a couple of episodes back, Shelley had like her old school Shelley hair, more waitress hair, less taken care of, which looks more natural, more Shelley to me. And I love that they went there. But now they went back again to the perfect styled hair that looked just too clean. And then Shelley jumps into her car, rushes off to Becky's. As she steps out of the car, her lipstick is freshly done. It's blood red. The curls on the hair are just like, there's no hair out of place. It's just overstyled. I think Mädchen Amick, and that, I think she has a little bit to do with that. I think she made them do it because she wants to look always so camera perfect. But I think that was a bit of a mistake. It should have made her look a bit more washed out, because that's the character. Debbie says, a lot of cute moments. Yes. Pink Hornet. That scene at the coordinate spot was so well shot. Oh, yes. Yeah, the coordinates. And it was, I loved from the second down when we have kind of a semi-close-up of Gordon Cole walking, camera's kind of slowly, it's slightly lower. And then you start seeing that kind of fuzzy fade from the sides. That was fascinating. Wait, thing flying. That was super, super fascinating for me, and beautiful, and very, very Lynch too. As was very Lynch, the staircase in that motel, whatever place, apartment, living station where Becky's husband ran off with his lover. That was also very Lynchian, kind of. Almost actually the first second I saw it, before Becky ran up the staircase, I mean, I recognized the carpet and I recognized that it wasn't the Palmer house, but for a second there I thought, oh wow, we get finally a view from the Palmer house from Laura's staircase, but from upstairs towards downstairs. But in fact, of course, like right after I thought it, I knew it was wrong because the proportions were off. But it just reminded me somehow of Laura's stairs. And I know a lot of people are mentioning, Becky or Amanda Seyfried being the new Laura Palmer. I still don't agree with that theory. I don't think that she's going to be the new Laura. But the staircase scene and her running up the stairs did kind of remind me a bit of Laura. So, yeah. Yes, Miriam is alive. And remember, Melinda, I said it last week. I was like, I don't think she's dead. And everybody was like, no, she's dead. She's dead. It probably exploded, the gas. And I was like, I don't think she's dead. Yeah. That was her all beaten up. Yeah, she survived. She exited the little trailer home that she had before it exploded. And actually, we don't know if it exploded. The intention was for it to explode, but you remember? Yeah, Melinda remembered, yeah. Super D said it. No, because she was just too good to, her soul was just so not corrupted. She's such a goody two-shoes almost person. I don't know. David doesn't usually kill off people like that, like her. Hornet says, the bearded men Cole saw seem to be standing on a staircase too. Yes, they are. It's the way those stair scenes are framed. Yeah, it's how they're framed, definitely, and it's something, very Lynch. And I mean, he's referencing a lot of things there. Hitchcock is very famous for his staircases, and Orson Welles is very famous for filming. Well, also Hitchcock actually, with ceilings. And that's something that usually in Hollywood productions you didn't really have. I mean, if you're filming in a studio, you don't have a ceiling. But Hitchcock would, and Wells, both would film with the ceiling visible, camera filming down, up, and then you could kind of create this anxiety tension of oppression and anxious pressure building up by creating this kind of really low ceiling. And, yeah, and you can do that by filming, by placing the camera very low, filming upwards. And then the staircase, is very famous from Psycho, from Hitchcock. And that's another reference there as well. As so many other movies, it's not like Psycho has the only staircase ever in Hollywood history, obviously, but that's kind of the first one that comes to mind in this case. Nothing gets past you. Lynch has a heart. He does have a heart, definitely, and we see that. He's such a sweetheart. And I mean, how cute was he in the police station with the donut and asking for coffee? I see Gordon Cole, but I also at the same time see Lynch, and he's like very much loving the presence of all of his actors and being together with them. And you really feel that. It's not something you can fake. You just feel that love, and you feel how happy he is to be there. And which brings me to the point, I truly hope, and fingers crossed, for season 4. I know they're going to say it's not going to happen. I know they've already said that this is a limited release series, that it's a one-off thing. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Season 4 ain't going to happen. But honestly, I think the only chance we have for getting season 4 is if David Lynch and Mark Frost and Kyle MacLachlan, but mostly David Lynch, really sees how much this means to the world. And if he gets all the love, which he deserves for this show and for being who he is, and if that triggers inside of him some sort of energy that he thought was long lost or gone, then there will be a season 4. Of course, as far as Showtime is concerned, or whatever, their views, at the end of the day, they got to calculate their money and how much Twin Peaks has affected memberships, subscriptions, stuff like that. But I think whoever has a little bit of brain and whoever would want to take in consideration, being a broadcast station, TV station, or online, whatever, Twin Peaks is like a chess game. Haha, Wyndham Earl. But no, seriously, it's like with Twin Peaks, you got to think 10 to 20 steps ahead. Twin Peaks is not an investment for the right here or right now. Twin Peaks has always been ahead of its time. And this season is also ahead of its time. A lot of people that loved Twin Peaks hated Fire Walk with Me. It took them 20 years to fall in love with Fire Walk with Me. A lot of the fans of Twin Peaks season 1 and 2 are going to be, are already hating season 3 so much. It's going to give them time. It needs time. It's going to grow onto people because it's ahead of its time, because its language, its visual language, and its content it is ahead of its time. A lot of people, unfortunately, are going to need time to catch up and to figure out the beauty and to appreciate that sort of aesthetic and style. So when a station, a TV, a broadcast, or whatever, is kind of challenged with the question whether or not to produce another season of Twin Peaks, they should say yes. As long as David Lynch is alive, they should keep producing, because it's a huge investment for the future. Investing in that now means that people will be coming back to see it over and over and over and over again. It's just that type of show. It's a type of show that you're going to return to. And so you're going to have an investment on long term when you buy into Twin Peaks. This is just my opinion. So I feel like all, the pawns are all in place and it's all ready to kind of move on to season 4. But I also know, that negative criticism might affect Lynch's way of thinking about an eventual season 4. And I know that a lot of people have been also criticizing Twin Peaks. So that might kind of put him off as well. SPF 50 crossed through. How you doing, sweetie? What was it? What was with that zombie acting kid in the car? It was nuts, LOL. Okay, yes, we laughed so much. And I said it before, I'm going to say it again. I was like, as I was laughing, I was telling myself, don't laugh, this is serious. Like, maybe the kid is really sick and, but it was just so hysterical. I said it before, but it really felt like 11 from Stranger Things. Like, he came to Twin Peaks and had some sort of seizure. But yeah, it was super funny, and I thought that lady driving the car was totally hysterical until she's like, she's sick, I gotta go. And I'm like, what's she talking about? And then the kid just like pops up from beside her. That was the most comedically perfect timing in this season so far, thus far. That was comedy genius. Like, it turned something so dramatic and tragic into something so comic. It was unbelievable. I could not stop laughing, and I filmed myself watching the episode for the first time. So you're going to see that up in a couple of hours. You're going to see me dying. I couldn't stop laughing. Pink Hornet says, I like that Frost and Lynch have made their vision rather than what would please fans to be popular. Yes, I totally agree with you. Because, again, it's challenging for us, It's challenging for us, and that's a good thing. Because we were like 25 years building up this notion of what we were expecting it to be. And the option was to deliver it on a silver platter or to be like, no, we're going to whip you into shape because there's more to it than what meets the eye. And that's exactly what David delivered with Mark, and that's amazing. Debbie says, yes, and the viewers might be in the future when the Kardashian clan is long gone. Oh, yes. I mean, honestly, do we remember? I mean, I never even watch it, so I don't know. But I know that there are a bunch of sisters. So, but do we even know, like, the Keeping Up with the Kardashians season? I don't know what, episode 10. Like, do we know what the hell happened? Nobody even cares anymore. But with Twin Peaks, you rewatch stuff. I mean, we can't even. Why are we even comparing it? I mean, Jesus Christ, Kardashians. Oof. They shouldn't even be allowed to be mentioned in in this, together in the same room with Twin Peaks. SPF 50. I love Briggs. Just staring. LOL. Yeah, he was like, okay, psycho. Melinda says, I was laughing till I couldn't stop. The car scene, couldn't help it. Yeah, Briggs didn't know what to do. No, because like he's like, okay, she's this hysterical lady in the car. I can't just like shut her down. She's obviously hysterical, has some issues. Let her go with it. But then the kid pops up, and then like that all hell broke loose. That was amazing. That was an iconic moment. And also because I was so annoyed by the honking before we even knew who was honking. It was already honking. It was like building up. So that was so genius because that scene was building up before we even knew it was building up. That's how sneaky Lynch is. And then finally, Bobby approaches, and then we see that there's this hysterical woman, and we hate her immediately. Immediately, we just want her, dead, gone, disappeared. And you're thinking, Bobby just hit her on the head, smack her, make her shut up. But then it becomes serious because you think she has a serious problem. You think maybe she's mentally ill, or she has somebody who she has to be with who is mentally ill. But then all of a sudden, this like weird kid pops up next. It keeps building and building. It was incredible. That scene, I love it. It's amazing. It's T-shirt worthy. Then when the kid is like, ah, just like print that on a T-shirt, will ya? Uh, so the honking was so anxiety-inducing, almost like in Fire Walk with Me with Mike. Oh yes, yeah, very similar to that. Melinda says, then it got peaceful with Hawk for relief. Yeah, but I was still laughing. I still missed like half of the speech because I was still laughing. Pink Hornet says, Dana Ashbrook Bobby has aged well, very well. I could stare at him for a while too. Yeah, he looks very good. And also Lynch knows how to film his actors. They all look really beautiful. No matter how young or how old they all look really beautiful in this season. Yeah, the Hawk and Truman scene, Melinda says, me too, laughing. But, you know, it was also great to see the Log Lady and how masterfully David managed to implement her despite the fact that Catherine was really sick. And, you know, that I'm sure that her part in this show would have been different had she not been so ill. But they had to probably restructure and rewrite the pieces so that she could talk to them over the phone through her own room. So those scenes might have been different had she been healthy. Hawk and Truman are so good together. I love Hawk. Yeah, they are. They are so good together. And we're less and less, I mean, at least I can only speak for myself. I'm noticing less and less an issue with the absence of Harry Truman. It would be great to have him there, but in the beginning, I missed him more than I do now. So he is missed, but it is what it is, and I think the show is doing well also without him in a way. But yeah. So I think we're like, we did like, it's long. I don't even know how long this thing has been going on. I don't even have time. Like this computer is a mess. But what about Audrey? Melinda asked about Audrey. Much bigger part for sure, says Debbie. Yeah, Debbie, you're talking about the Log Lady. She would have had a bigger role. And maybe not, like maybe the words would have been similar, because it's not like in the original show she had a huge role. She would pop in from time to time. So we're getting to see as much of the Log Lady as we did actually in season 1 and 2, but I'm sure she would have had a different type of presence. She would have been in a different environment. They would have shot in a, you know, maybe she would have come once to the station, or maybe they would have met her once in the Double R Diner, or they would have gone to her place. I don't know. But yeah. So Audrey, I guess she has a very important role to play in this season, and she will be one of the plot twists of this season, and that's why Lynch is keeping her still away from us, as he's keeping Ed still away from us. I think it has to do with the importance that she's going to play. And it just shows to me how much he cares, how much Lynch loves Audrey, because he's keeping her as a treasure for a special occasion, I guess. I don't know. But I do miss her. I mean, I think, but then again, what could she have done? Like, look at the plot line so far. It's not like there's space for her, really. What could she do? Run after her alleged son? Because we don't know if she's the mother. Well, is Johnny the father? I don't think. Of Richard? I don't think so. Could you imagine Johnny being the father of Richard? I don't know. Like, what could have Audrey done, really, until now? There's no space for her. Not really, if you think of it. I mean, yeah, okay, she could have popped in to discuss the issue of Richard attacking his grandmother. But if Richard is her son, then we could have had her running after him in every episode trying to stop. I don't know, you know, it's like really hard to think about. Given the plot lines we have now, it's hard to imagine her in them. had she been present from episode 1, maybe there would have been yet another plot line for her. But somehow David and Mark just didn't want it that way. So we gotta take what we can get. Oh, Pink Hornet says, glad I caught you live, if only at the end. Thanks for hosting, Dacob. Oh, thank you so much, sweetie. SPF 50, which I suspect is why Richard is so messed up, because she's missing. Melinda says, I miss Audrey. SPF, yeah, that'd be nuts. Yeah, if Johnny was Richard's father. Melinda says, will we see Richard again? Yeah, we will. Oh, yes. Of course we will. The criminal always goes back to the scene of the crime, sooner or later. That's the law of criminality. Ryan Kramus, hi, Ryan. Oh, yeah, hi, welcome. Came late. Nice lamp, Dacob. Oh, thank you so much. Werner Panton, a Danish designer. My favorite designer, and that little lamp is called the Pantella. SPF 50, Richard taking money scene felt very Clockwork Orange, completely. Also because of the music and everything, and the way Johnny was dressed up also felt very Clockwork Orange. Pink Hornet says, with no Laura, there isn't a natural peace for Audrey or Donna. True. I agree with you. That is also so true. And a non-spirit Laura anyway. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's tough if you think about it, because I think the real reason, the two reasons why Lynch is holding out with Audrey until now is because, one, she's crucial to the whole Cooper story, and Cooper isn't there yet. He's still Dougie. And two, she is fundamental. She's very important for I think also the female power of balance in Twin Peaks, because she was a tough cookie. You know, she wasn't just the victim, and even when she was the victim, she was kind of a victim of her own father, because she ended up, you know, in One-Eyed Jack's. The owner was her father. She didn't know that back then, but whatever. But I mean, Audrey brings a certain strength with her. And I think that's why we're not seeing her yet, because Twin Peaks is lacking that power and that energy and that strength. And once she arrives, I have the feeling things will start getting better. She's like the healer of the situation in a way. That's just my 5 cents on this topic. So anyway, let's end it on Audrey. Thank you guys so much for, you know, for all your love and for tuning in and for talking with me. I'll see you next week. You know, subscribe to my channel here on YouTube if you like to, because there's also other videos, Twin Peaks related and not, of course. But I will be uploading, so in a couple of hours, I will be uploading the watch-along. So if you want to rewatch the episode together with me, you can. The video will be up because the internet is super slow, so upload is going to last forever. But I did film myself watching the entire episode. I laughed a lot. So that's going up. I'm also on Instagram, Super Dacob, all spelled together, and Twitter, and on Snapchat. So yeah, I'll see you next week in the Purple Room, guys. Until then, I wish you a wonderful week, and all the best to all of you. Stay safe. And my two ladies, I hope you sober up. Monday is coming. Pink Hornet says, ciao, take care. Tracy was the closest to you, Audrey type of girl, honestly. Yeah, Tracy, true, but Tracy dead. Invisible Girl, Audrey will be crucial for Cooper, at least. That was what I suppose. Yes. All right. See you guys. Love you so much. Take care. Bye.